Today I'll be turning all of this into a fantastic South Asian Sri Lankan inspired curry. Straight away goes to one of these spatulas, and I will reserve the remaining ghee there. Now in with our onion, garlic, pepper and tomato mix, because this is going to need to cook down initially. And you want to hear that sizzling noise. You don't want to hear a stewing noise. Now all of the liquid is going to come out of this. Once it is at that point, I shall come back to filming. So you'll be able to hear it sounds like it's bubbling rather than frying. We're trying to get rid of that noise because what we want is everything to be cooked out, all the water to be cooked out from the onions, from the tomatoes, from the pepper. After it's all cooked out and it's sounding like it's frying, we'll put the spice mix in. It's had about 5 minutes cooking off some of the moisture now, and you'll see the onions are starting to turn translucent, the tomatoes are breaking down, peppers are breaking down, and the garlic is thoroughly mixed in. So we'll just keep this going for a little bit longer, and then we're going to add in our spice mix. So it's now starting to sound like it's frying rather than it's bubbling. Put the microphone there so you can hear what I mean compared to how it was. Now, next up, you're going to want to get some spice mix. Now, if you're lucky like me and your wife has a friend who is Sri Lankan and you can get some of the good stuff, this spice mix is from her auntie. She made it herself. I've got the breakdown of the spice mix. It is 1 part curry powder, 1 part black pepper, 2 parts Kashmiri chili powder, 2 parts ground coriander, 2 parts ground cumin and 2 parts ground ginger. Now I'm using about 20 grams in here, and that's all going in. And be warned, this stuff is potent, to say the least. What we want to do is just coat all of the vegetables whilst toasting off the spices at the same time. Now I'm going to add in the stewed fruit. Now you may be asking, why on earth are you adding stewed fruit to a curry? Well, firstly, I'm only adding the same amount as I was of the spice mix. Secondly, the sweetness from it is going to cut out some of the heat but leave most of the flavour. Well, it leaves all of the flavour actually, but just cuts back some of the heat. The same principle is with habanero mango hot sauce, or a lot of Caribbean cuisine, South Indian cuisine. They use tomatoes, which is quite sweet, and they use that in their cooking quite a bit. Now, next up, I'm going to blend this with 1/2 cup of water. I'll turn the heat off in the meantime. As if by editing magic, we have got the blender available. And I'll add the 1/2 cup of water to this in a moment. I'm not going to scrape the pan entirely clean because I'm going to put the cashews in afterwards, after I've blended everything, to toast very quickly, just to add a bit of browning to them, give them a bit of a toasted flavour before I add the prawns and the curry sauce that I'm making here. Now, if you could only smell this, it's absolutely phenomenal. Just get that last little bit of tomatoes, onions, etc. Next up, half a cup of water. A bit more. And we put the lid on. Put that back. And we blend away. That's done. So, time for the cashews and the prawns. Let's get that heat back on. And we'll get the last of the ghee into this pan. There's not much ghee in here. We only want about, that's half of what we started with. So it's only about 2.5 grams, if that. That was left. We just want to lightly toast our cashew nuts. We want to toast them in the ghee because the ghee's got a wonderful nutty aromatic scent to it, and it's going to pick up some of the spices that's left in the pan. So we get this cooking, we just keep them moving. There we are, the nuts are turning a lovely brown now, brown colour, combination of toasting as well as the spice. So in go the prawns. We just want to cook these prawns for about a minute or two, warm them through because they've already been pre-cooked, they've just been frozen, so you want to warm them through until you don't hear that little boiling noise. You want all the water to be gone. So most of the prawns have now cooked off the liquid, there's only a negligible amount left in there. So I'm going to pour in the curry sauce. It has had its additional hefty dose of spice mix. And now, I would tell you, you'd never tell that there was a stewed fruit put into this. You really would not tell. Unless you happen to be allergic or something of that nature, it is not one that you would be able to tell. But next up, I'm going to add in our coconut milk. Use light coconut milk in our house. Just find it gives a better balance of flavour. Oh, that is really spitting up there. So, without being overpowering, because full coconut milk can be really overpowering in its flavour. I think in fact I'm only going to use 1 tin. Put the other one back. We get that fully mixed in and integrated. And then give it a small sample. That is a flavour sensation. I'm going to let this cook for about another 5 minutes and then I'm going to serve up. So in the time that this has taken to bubble and stew up and cook nicely, I've prepared some konjac rice. It's a new experience for me. There's a bit in a bowl here. It's let's see if I can get it to focus in. So it's konjac. It's from Japan, and it's there's no carbs, 0 fat, and only 11 calories per serving, and it's about 100 grams a serving, thereabouts. So it's not too bad. Different texture to cauliflower rice and to regular rice, but it will do the job for this dinner.